Alright, practice paper A, paper 1, non-calculator, hour and 15 minutes. Adding 136, add 82. So I'm guessing a lot of you will do 136, add 82. Sort of column method. And then working from the right, 6 add 2 is 8. 3 add 8 is 11. So we put 1 and carry 1, and then 1 and the one we carried is 2, so it's 218. Will be your answer to that. Now I wouldn't do it like that, I would do 136 at 82, so I'd look at the tens and the hundreds and units. So hundreds we've got 100, the tens I've got 30 at 80, which is 110, and the units I've got 6 add 2, which is 8. So now I've just got to add them together to get my answer. 100 add 110 is 210, add 8 is 218. So it's up to you. Loads of ways of doing them. Make sure you can. 250 minus 116. Again, I'm sure a lot of you will use column method. So to do that, well, 0 takes 6 we can't do, so we have to borrow. So we take that down 1 and make that 10. 10 take 6 is 4. 4 take 1 is 3. And 2 take 1 is 1. So your answer is 134. Okay. I wouldn't do it like that, I would do it in bits. So I'd say 250 minus 100 equals 150. Then I'll do 150 minus the 10 is 140, and 140 minus 6 is 134. So take off the 100, then take off the 10, then take off the 6, and you haven't got to worry about carrying and things like that. Alright, or you could do it like a number line, which is similar to that. Lots of ways. Make sure you can do them. Easy mark. 13 times 5. I mean, personally, I would go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. And just go up in your 5 times tables. If you want to do a bit of working out with your column method. 13 multiplied by 5. So then 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 3 is 15. And if you add them together, you get 65. Yes. Couple of boxes around that. So box method. So 256 divided by 8. Again, lots of ways of doing this. I'll do bus shuttle first because I think that's probably the method that most people would do. It wouldn't be the method that I would choose, but okay, so to do this we say, well, how many times does 8 go into 25? That goes into it 3 times, remainder 1, because 8 times 3 is 24, so there's 1 remainder to get to 25. Then how many 8s go into 16? 2. So your answer is 32. Now, if you're not too keen on bus shelter, then you need to times your way up. So I just write down all of the things you need to know. You know 8 times 1. You know 8 times 2 is 16. You know 8 times 4, that's easy, that's 32. 8 times 5 is 40. So write down all the simple things you need to know. Is 80. And 8 times 100 equals 800. So that's a list of things to do. Always do 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 and 100. That's easy. Now what we then need to do is use these numbers here to add up to our target number, which is 256. Okay, so we could do 80, add 80 is 160, add 80 is 240, add 16 is 256. Okay, so you can add them together. So now what numbers gave us them times tables? Well, 80 was 10 lots of 8, and 80 is 10 lots of 8, and 80 was 10 lots of 8, and 16 was 2 lots of 8. So our answer then is 32. Alright, so you sort of multiply your way up, or you can learn how to do the bus shelter and do it well. Right, 3,642 in words. 3,642. Round 3,642 to the nearest 100. Okay, so is it nearer to 3,600 or 3,700? Well, it's nearer to 3,600. So that's the answer. A rugby ground seats 5,000 people. 3,642 people may watch a match. How many empty seats are there? So there's 5,000 seats normally, and there are 3,642 taken up. So we've got to take them two numbers away. Now again, how we go about doing that is up to you. I personally would be saying, well, 3642 is there, and treat it like a number line. Okay. So we're looking at the difference between these two numbers. How do I go up from one number up to the next? Okay. So first job, we can go up to 3,650. So what did I add to get to that? I added 8 to get there. Add 8. And then the next number, we could go to 3,700, which is there. And how do I get to that? Well, I add another 50. And then I can go for 4,000. After that, let's do that, I add 300. And then finally, I go up to 5,000, which is add 1,000. So my answer then, once I've done all that, is these numbers added together. 8, add 50, add 300, add 1,000. Well, 1,000, 1,300, 1,350, 1,358. There's your answer. Now, I guess we could also do it using column method. However, you need to be good at this method if you're going to use it, because that's quite a tricky sum to do using that way. Starting from this side, well, 0 minus 2 gives us a negative answer, so we can't do that. So we have to borrow 10 from here, but we can't. Borrow 10 from there, but we can't. So we have to borrow from here. So that lends 10 to that. And then we can reduce that one by 1, and lends 10 to that. And we can reduce that one by 1, and lends 10 to that. So 10 take 2 is 8. 9 take 4 is 5. 9 take 6 is 3. And 4 take 3 is 1. 1358. It's quite tricky. On centering your grid, plot the points A, 3, 1 and B, 6, 7. Okay, so along the corridor and up the stairs. So there's A, and 6 along and 7 up is there. Okay, measure the line AB. Well, I can't do that one because I haven't really got it to scale, but essentially get a ruler and just measure them 2 points up. Okay, and write your answer down in centimetres. Write down the coordinate of any point on the line B that is nearer to A than it is to B. And let's just join this up. Right, well, the obvious one to me then is closer to A than to B. So it could be, your halfway point is here, so it could be any of these along here. But if we go for the one that's the whole numbers, that'd be there. So that'd be 4, 3. 4 along and 3 up. Okay. The doctor's surgery opens at 8:15. The number of patients waiting at 8:15 to make appointments is recorded. Draw a suitable diagram on the grid shows information. Okay, so we're going to do a bar chart as a suitable diagram. The key to this is making sure that each of the days are separate in your bars. And it goes up to 8 on Monday. And Tuesday goes up to 6. And Wednesday goes up to 5. Thursday goes up to 4. Friday goes up to 3. And Saturday goes up to 4. And the other thing we're missing is the label in the axis. So day of the week. Just label up that axis as well. We'll make sure you get a ruler out for things like this, okay? Simple things, but accuracy is important, so make sure you do. Work out the range of the number of patients waiting. Well, the most amount of patients waiting was 8, and the least amount of patients waiting was 3. So the range is 5. Highest take lowest. Work out the mean number of patients waiting. So mean means add them all up and divide by how many there are. So 8, add 6, add 5, add 4, add 4 is 14, 19, 8 add 6 is 14, add 5 is 19, add 4 is 23, 26 add up to 30. So now 30 divided by the number of days that we've got, and we haven't got Sunday, so 6 days, is 5. So your average, your mean average is 5. Alright, these questions come up sort of fairly regularly, really, where we need to make a comparison. Essentially, you want to compare the range and the mean, 2 comparisons to make. Alright, so the surgery starts an online system. Can wait online or wait. This is the data for once the new system started. So the range went down to 2, and the average number of patients waiting was 3. So make 2 comparisons. Let's compare the average first, then the mean. So it's 1. The average number of people waiting has decreased after the online system started. And then for the other one, the range. So the range has also decreased, meaning there is less, variety in the number of people waiting, i.e. there is a similar number of people waiting each day. Because the range is only 2, then there's not much difference between the most amount of people waiting and the least amount of people waiting, so it's always roughly the same amount of people waiting each day. 5. The amount of 3p can be written like that and like that. Write down 5 different ways of making 6p. So 1p, add 5p. You can have 1p and 1p. 2p's. We could do it with 2p's. What else could we do? We could have 2p, and 2p, and 2p. Oh, sorry, and 1p, and 1p. We could have 2p's, and a load of 1p's. I think that's all. Yeah. Number 6. Sketch of a triangle ABC is shown. Angle ABC is 70. What type of angle is that? Okay, so reflex means it's bigger than 180. Obtuse is between 90 and 180. Right angle is 90 degrees, so the answer is going to have to be acute, is the answer. Make an accurate drawing of the triangle ABC. Okay, so I've done BC for you. Well, BC is 8 centimetres, so you can see that the line there is 8 centimetres. Mine's not perfect, I'm sure you've got to be a bit better. 70 degrees, so protractor on there, and then we're looking at 70 degrees, so 70 degrees is there. So I can get rid of the protractor now. Oh, lost my mark. So 70 degrees is there, so that's the line that we're going to go through. Okay, so now we've got to measure 4.5 centimetres through that point there. Bear with me while I just get my ruler lined up. Okay, so through your point, then we're going to do a line which is 4.5 centimetres long. So for me, that's going to go from there to there. Ruler can go, and then to finish off, I'm going to go down to there. Excellent. 7. What fraction of this grid is shaded? Okay, well, if we put this triangle and this triangle together, then that'll make a whole square, and that'll make a whole square there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whole squares coloured in, or shaded in. Out of how many altogether? Well, it's 4, 8, 12, 16 squares altogether. So 6 out of 16. And then to simplify that, half of both is 3 over 8. Here is tile. Some of these tiles are used to cover the floor as shown. What is the smallest number of tiles you can need? Okay, it's quite a visual one. I would say that to do this, well, first of all we can count up these. So we've got 1 there. And then 2 there. 3 there. 4 there. Now this bit here and this bit here goes with that. So that and that make 5 so far. And I would say this bit here with this bit here makes another one. So there's 6. And the same there, that and that. Make another one is 7. And we're left with this bit here. And that bit there. So that and that is going to make a half one. So we need 7.5 tiles. However, we can't buy 7.5 tiles, so we're going to have to buy 8 tiles to make sure that we've got enough. Alright, Sorted. Number 8. Miller is organising a trip to the theatre for 100 people. Miller is given 10 free tickets. The rest of the tickets are £6 each. Total cost of the tickets is shared equally between all 100 people. How much will the person pay? Okay, so they need 100 tickets, and 10 of them are free. 90 tickets to pay for. So 90 times £6. Here's 9 times 6 is 54, so it's £540 to pay. And then finally, the cost is shared between 100 people. So it's 540 divided by 100 people equals £5.40 to pay each person. Something like that. Okay, now the star there means that we need to explain this. So if you just put 100 minus 10 is 90, 90 times 6 is 540, then that you probably won't get it. You need to explain why you've done each of them steps. Okay, a minibus holds 11 passengers and costs £60. A coach holds 58 passengers, costs £285. Work out the cheapest method of getting 100 people to the theatre. Okay, so 100 people to the theatre. Well, 9 minibuses would be 99, so we'd need 10 minibuses equals 60 times 10, which is £600 to get them there. We could get 2 coaches, which would be 2 times £285, which is £570. So far that's the cheapest that we've got. However, we could do a mixture. If we've got 1 coach is 58, then it's 42 people to go, so we'd need 1 coach plus 4 minibuses. So that's going to be £285 for the coach plus 4 lots of £60. So 4 times 60 is £240. And if you add them together, you've got yourself £525. So which one of them is the cheapest method of getting there? 1 coach and 4 minibuses. It's going to be the cheapest way of getting there. Right. The net of a solid is shown on a centimetre grid. What is the name of the solid? Okay, so if you fold the triangle up on each end and then the sides up, it's like a Toblerone shape, and the proper name for a Toblerone shape is a triangular prism. The area of each triangle is 1.7 centimetres squared. Work out the total area of the net. Okay, well that's given us the area of the triangles, and we need to work out the area of the rectangles. That's how many squares are in them. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the total area of the net will be 3 marks. I'm going to put down 6 lots of 5 equals 30. And then 30, add 1.7 for one triangle, add 1.7 for the other triangle, is 33.4. So the answer is 33.4. Number 10. 2/3 of a number is 60. What is 50% of the same number? Okay, this can be quite tricky. Right, so 2/3 of a number, and we don't know what that number is yet, but that's equal to 60. So 2/3 of it is 60, then 1/3 is going to have to be half of that, which is going to be 30. And then finally, 1/3 of what number is that? Well, then x is going to have to be 90, so 1/3 of 90 is x. So I know that my number is equal to 90, so now 50% of 90 is the same as half of 90, which is 45. So your answer is 45. Here are two sets of cards. The numbers in set A are different, the numbers in set B are different. Both sets have the same median. One card in set B is turned over. What number could be on the card? Okay. So, median. So median of set A. First, to get the median, you put the numbers in order, find the middle number. So we've got 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. To put the numbers in order. And now what is the middle number of them? Well, highest and lowest taken off, highest and lowest. We're halfway between 4 and 6. So what number is halfway between 4 and 6? Median equals 5. So that's for set A. So now we do set B. Well, we put them in order. We've got ourselves 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Those are numbers, but then there's another one that we don't yet know. Okay, now the median is equal to 5, so the middle number has to be 5. So to make the 5 the middle number, we need to have this number here somewhere along here. Now they're all different, so missing number could be well, it could be 1 or 3. Simplify. 2x plus 3x minus x. So I've got 2 of something, add on 3 of something, I've got 5x, and take off an x, and I've got 4x left over. How many terms are in the expression? Well, terms are just bits that are separated by a plus or a minus. So how many sort of parts of this equation are there? Well, there are 3. Okay, join each box on the left with the one on the right. One has been done for you. Expression, I've sort of told you this expression already. An equation is when you've got two things that are equal to each other, and there are some known numbers in amongst that. A formula is a rule, so that's the volume of a shape, of a cuboid, sorry. A sensor records the temperature at 7 AM, it then records the temperature every 3 hours. Another sensor records the air pressure at 8 AM and records the air pressure every 4 hours. At what times in every 24-hour period will the two sensors take readings at the same time? Well, to me, I'll make a list. So, let's go with the temperature one. So for the temperature, it does it at 7 AM, and it goes every 3 hours. So we've got 10 AM, then 1 PM, then 4 PM, then 7 PM, and 10 PM, and then 1 AM, 4 AM, and then we're back to the 7 AM at the start. So the air pressure is 8 AM, and then 4 hours on will be 12 noon. Then 4 more hours will be 4 PM, then 8 PM, then 12, call that midnight, and then 4 more hours, and then 4 more hours. And we're back to where we started, so we don't need that one there. So at what times in every time will the two suns take this reading at the same time? So 7 AM, well these are all even here, so it's only the even ones, can't be 10 AM, 1 PM, no, so we've got 4 PM, 4 PM, same on both, 10 PM, 10 PM, and then 4 AM. So there you go, they're the 2 times, they'll be the same, 4 PM and 4 AM. Number 14. The table shows the activities on the trip. Each student chooses 2 activities. So on these ones, sort of try and work through them in order really that they're given you. Okay, so we've got this information already. Twice as many boys as girls choose rock climbing. So girls is 8, so boys then is going to have to be twice as many. So that'd be 16. 2 more boys choose archery than choose horse riding. So horse riding 16. 2 more boys is that. Careful. 2 more boys choose archery, then choose horse riding, so horse riding is 10. So that'll be 12. And 5 times more girls choose horse riding and archery, so that's going to be 5 plus 4, that'll be 20. So how many students have we then got all together? Add them up. Plus 16, plus 20, 10, 4, plus 12. So now how you add these is up to you. I'll pick off pairs, I'll say, well, 8 and 12 go together to get 20, and 16 and 4 go together to 20, so that's 40, and then 20, 60 and 20 is 70. I guess you could do column method on that if you wanted to. In a wood, half of the trees are oak, 30% of the trees are sycamore, the rest are elm. Right, so because we've got a percentage there, let's imagine that there are 100 trees. Okay, so of them 100, half of them are oak. Don't know nothing about sycamore, but I know that elm is 30%, so 30 of them. And because there's 100, this then has to be 20. Your job now is to simplify it. We'll divide them all by 10, we get 5, 2, 3. Five to 2 to 3. 1/5 of the oak trees and half of the sycamore trees are cut down. Work out the new ratio. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our numbers 5, 2 and 3 and do what it said to them. So the oak, 1/5 of the oak trees, well, 1/5 of 5 is 1. That's 1. And half of the sycamore trees are cut down, so that's 1. So it's going to be 1 to 1 to 3. Two more to go. Solve the equation 5, 6 plus d plus equals 1 3/4. Okay, first job on this one is going to be to make this mixed number at the end here into an improper fraction. So, for example, there's 5, 6 and d. I know 1 3/4, we'll get that into over a quarter. So to do that, we do 1 times 4 is 4, and add on 3 is 7. Alright. So the next job, we need to make these two common denominators, because it's just going to make life a lot easier. So, there it is. Now I'm going to make this over 12, which means I've got to make that 10 12s. I'm going to make that over 12, which is going to times that by 3, which is going to be 21 12s. Okay, now the tricky bit is we need to times everything by 12 to get rid of that fraction. So we do 10 12s times 12, you just get 10. D times 12, 12d, and 21 over 12 times 12 is 21. And we're starting to get somewhere. We get there. So, I'm going to carry on. Let's just move that here so I can carry on underneath. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to take this 10 off of this side. So I take 10 off that side, I get 12d, and 21 take 10 is 11. And then if we divide by 12, we get 11 over 12. I'm just going to check through that because that doesn't look like a nice answer. But that line there is right. 5 over 6 and d, and we've just changed that to a mixed number. And now 5, 6, 7 is 10 over 12, and that's the same as 21 over 12. Yeah, that's right. So times by 12 is that there, and then we get to our answer. We could have done from here, at that point there, is we could have then said that if I get rid of 10 over 12 on here, then I can take that onto the other side. Yeah, or even there, that might have been easier. So when I was here, I could have then said, well then d is equal to 7 over 4. Is that? So now you've got yourself a fraction question to do. 7 fourths minus 12 5 6. So you can make that over 12, making that 21. Make that over 12. And then 21 take 10. It's 11 over 12. So a couple of ways of doing that one. That's a tricky question. Three friends are talking about regular polygons. The exterior angle of a polygon of a pentagon is 72. A regular decagon has twice as many sides as a pentagon, so the exterior angle must be 72 divided by 2. A regular decagon has twice as many sides as a pentagon, so the exterior angle must be 2 times 72. Is Ben or Colin correct? So Alison's correct. Essentially, the exterior angle is 360 divided by number of sides. So for a deck again, it's 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 10. And 360 divided by 10 is 36. So now we know that, who's correct? Well, Colin here says 72 divided by 2, well that's 36, and he says 2 times 72 is 144, so Colin is correct. Okay, this is a rule that you kind of need to know, people. The exterior angle of a polygon is 360 divided by the number of sides. Kind of need that one. Sorted, and then we're done.